wenn wir uns auf die Straße wagten, besonders die Weberinnen, die in Hosen gingen, dann war immer ein Aufruhr da. Das ist unmöglich, sagten die Leute. Und wenn wir kamen mit unserem Pony, sagten die Mütter zu ihren Töchtern, guck da nicht hin, das ist ein Bauhäusler. Also wir waren wohl die Punks hier für die Dessauer Welt.
The biggest change at the Dessau Bauhaus was the introduction of an architecture department. Students collaborated on the planning and design of an estate of workers' houses in a Dessau suburb. The estate, intended to deal with an acute housing shortage, consisted of flat-roofed utilitarian dwellings assembled from standard prefabricated parts. Built remarkably quickly, they were cheap to buy or rent, comfortable and easy to run. Financed by the city council, the development was one of the earliest estates of its kind. Head of the architecture department was Hannes Meyer, a communist who believed building was not an art but a science. He soon became the second director of the Bauhaus.
When I in 1928 stepped out, because I thought that with the coming up Nazi movement, that I was a factor which did harm to the Bauhaus because they attacked always me, I stepped back and wanted to go again into private activities and made Hannes Meyer to my successor. Hannes Meyer had not told me about his strong leanings towards the very leftish political side.
Dies hat dann im Lauf der Zeit, der nur 2 Jahre, die Meyer am Bauhaus war, dazu geführt, dass sich die Tendenz der Schule gleichsam nach links verschoben hat. Was natürlich auch damit zu tun hatte, dass 1929 in der Folge der Weltwirtschaftskrise eine sehr starke, disparate Bewegung in Deutschland war, die ja dann auch den Aufstieg der Nazi-Bewegung begünstigt hat und auf der linken Seite des politischen Spektrums ein sehr starkes Anwachsen der kommunistischen Bewegung, die auch am Bauhaus aktiv wurde. Dies war der eigentliche Grund, Hannes Meyer 1930 von der Leitung des Bauhauses zu entfernen und Ludwig Mies van der Rohe zu seinem Nachfolger zu bestimmen.
They got Mies van der Rohe, who was not a gentleman like Gropius, but a Catholic theoretician from the Rhineland. And if you know Germany, you realize that the Rhineland was different from Prussia. Mies van der Rohe was easygoing, Rhineland, wine drinking, cigar smoking, easy, quiet, secret man. And when Mies van der Rohe got there, he was horrified by the functionalist attitude of everything, and he believed in art. And was himself a great friend of Paul Klee and of Kandinsky. And he wanted to bring back art as the foundation for the Bauhaus, not losing the discipline. He was much more disciplined than the Bauhaus. The Bauhaus was ideological, but led easily into political protests.
Under Mies, who became director in 1930, architectural studies dominated the Bauhaus and all political activity was banned. To no avail. In Dessau, as earlier in Weimar, the Nazis gained control of the city council and closed what they saw as a festering sewer of communist, cosmopolitan and Jewish ideas.
Sie nannten uns Kulturbolschewisten. Also alles, was bolschewistisch war, war ja kommunistisch, war also böse. Und wir waren durch die Stahlmöbel und durch unsere Verbindung von Kunst und Technik völlig falsch gelagert, denn der Nationalsozialismus hatte eine ganz starke Ausprägung zum Blut und Boden, das nannte man so. Das hieß bäuerliche Möbel, bäuerliche, handfeste Sachen. Dabei ließ er sich vom Speer Möbel machen, die waren wie die auf den Dampfern, wie sie auf den großen Schiffen. Aber er verlangte von dem Volk also, dass sie also solche Holzmöbel nehmen. Und er wollte wieder zurück zu der bäuerlichen Einfachheit. Und das war der Sache. Und dann gab es Brauchtum und Sitte. Dann wurde auch noch getanzt. Also, und unsere Jazzmusik war ja absolut verboten. Die ließ man nur, Goebbels ließ sie nur im Film durchkommen. In Filmen durfte man ein bisschen so Tanzmusik machen und so. Die hassten uns, weil wir was anders machten.
People said, oh, these objects in themselves, they're radical, they're modernist, they scare ye olde Nazi aesthetic. That simply isn't true. Bauhaus artifacts were on sale throughout the 1930s in Germany. In shop windows, you'd have a Marianne Brandt kettle next door, a teapot next door to Nazi swastikas and souvenirs of the regime. There's even a famous postcard of Hitler reclining in a tubular steel chair. So it wasn't the objects which caused the problem. The Nazis quite understood industrialization. I mean, autobahns, gas stations, the four-year plans, you know, the Volkswagen. They understood all that. It was the teachers and the students. And it was that image of the Bauhaus that got them into trouble.
Stormtroopers commandeered the Dessau Bauhaus, shattering glass, throwing tools, files and furniture out of the windows. Another sinister kind of school took over the building. It trained party functionaries. The last home of the Bauhaus was Berlin.
When it moved into Berlin, its final phase, it was an extremely depressing place to work. It moved into a factory. The idealism went, and the masters at the Bauhaus said, ultimately, let's close it down.
On the 11th of April 1933, police arrived with trucks, closed the building and took some of the students away. By the beginning of 1933, the Nazis had come to power throughout Germany. So the Bauhaus, whose life began with the birth of the Weimar Republic, ended with its extinction. Its 14-year life had exactly mirrored that of Germany itself. The Bauhaus died in Germany, but its teachers and students spread out throughout the free world, taking their ideas and convictions with them. These took deepest root in America, particularly Chicago. Ironically, the enormous reputation and influence of the Bauhaus were enhanced by Nazi persecution. Transplanted to the New World, the Bauhaus idea proved more fertile than ever. Thanks to the presence there of Gropius, Mies van der Rohe, Moholy Nagy, Albers and many other former members of the Bauhaus, the American city became the architectural proving ground for the industrialized world. Not only the definitive face of the 20th century in architecture and design, but still a crystalline vision of the future.